new crew. Today we are just wrapping up a ton of random projects. We are starting off with all of our shallots and onions here. These have been curing for a very long time. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. I'd have to go back and look at when we harvested these, but I want to say it's been almost 2 months. It's been a very long time. These have been curing out in the shop here, and I've got to clear this table off. One, because these shallots are ready to be chopped, which is what we're doing today, cutting all of our ends off and whatnot, getting them in some of our crates here to put them downstairs. But we also have on the Ranger here, on the go-kart, we've got our first kind of half batch of potatoes out of the raised bed, and we've got to go finish harvesting those off before it gets to be too late and we're harvesting them in not so ideal conditions. We had a couple days of rain, so that's why only half of our potatoes got harvested. We got caught in a rainstorm. So we've let it dry out for a couple days, and now it is time to go ahead and harvest out the second half of all of those potatoes. I'm very comfy today. I am in my ugliest pair of sweatpants and my husband's really big sweater. It's kind of colder today. Well, it's warmer than it has been. It's 50 some degrees, but basically today and tomorrow are our last really nice days that we're going to have, and then we're going to get down into the 40s, into the 30s, and things are going to start getting cold. So over the next 2 days, we're going to try to hustle and wrap up as many outside projects as we possibly can while it's not miserable to be outside. So that's what we're doing today, finishing some things off. I also have some projects I need to do out in the orchard, and I'm going to, if I have enough time, try to start harvesting the rest of those potatoes. And whatever I can't get done this afternoon, my husband's going to come home and help me finish off harvesting the rest of those potatoes. But we need a place to cure them, so that's what we're doing, is clearing off all of these shallots and all of these onions so that our potatoes can go up on this table and spend a couple days or a couple weeks out here in the shop curing off just a little bit. What we're doing out in the permaculture orchard today is bending over our blackberry canes. You can see they finally have compost and mulch over top of them, which is utterly fantastic. It felt so good to get this project done. I did not film this project day. It was just my husband and myself, and we were just kind of getting her done. So I didn't film, but we went and got compost from our local dump. They have compost there for free, and the manager of the dump was super excited when we came because he said nobody ever comes and gets the compost. So he basically begged us to take this massive pile of compost, and we did. So we are just bending over our blackberry canes. How blackberry canes make more blackberry plants is they will bend over naturally like this and root themselves in the ground, and that will create 2 plants off of 1 plant. So before winter, I wanted to give all of these a chance to kind of help cane themselves, help propagate themselves. So that's what we're doing today, is basically making more plants. Our first section is done here, looking great. Not something that takes a lot of time, just something that takes the time to get out here and do it. Now, these are gooseberries, so these don't need to be done. Also, some more gooseberries here. These are plugs. So the difference between plugs and canes are fairly simple to see. These are just, they look like little plugs. They're very short and stout. Canes are very tall, kind of like a candy cane. So that's the difference between these. All blackberries just in different stages. This is a first year. Canes are second years. So that's why these are ready to be pulled over, and these ones are not. These are all canes. You can see some of these are a little bit bigger. I'm not going to do these yet. They're not quite as tall. Next season, these ones will be ready to pull over, but not now. But these ones most certainly are. These are the ones I started doing yesterday. It doesn't look like any of them stayed though, however. Well, I guess one of them did. That's okay. It looks like we have some of our bins that the wind blew out, so I'm gonna pick up these buckets and bins and get these back in the shop and pulled away, but the rest of these are all raspberries, those are already taken care of. We composted and mulched those as well, so those are ready to go. Nothing needs to be done over there, which is good. So once I get this project done, we'll be done in the orchard. We put this orchard in the spring, and we ordered 100 berry plants. Not all blackberries, mostly raspberries. I think we have 40 blackberry plants here of different variety, and some of them are canes here, which we already talked about. Others are plugs, and we are basically trying to double our money's worth by helping these canes over to create a second plant. That way next year, hopefully these will be producing, and then our second kind of bending over to create a second plant will be a first year plant, and then the following year they will produce. So we're really just trying to propagate and make as many blackberry plants as we possibly can, basically for free, which is the way to go. Come on, Mark. This is the rest of the potato bed. Joe and I kind of have taken turns. We've got this half all taken care of. We were using these old milk crates we got for free to haul off our potatoes, but some of the potatoes are too small and they fall right through these grates. So what I am going to do this time is just throw them all in the wagon and pull the wagon over to the shop with the rest of the potatoes that we already harvested. This is the fall garden. As you can see, it's pretty well done. Our broccolis are all done. The only thing still going in it is we do have 4 Brussels sprouts plants in here. I don't know if they're really gonna produce anything, but all of the green beans on the side are all done. The snap peas, the peppers, everything else except some of our very cold hardy Brussels sprouts are still rocking and rolling, but we will see how that ends up going. I see a couple of broccolis in here that look like they're ready to be pulled. Started clearing off this fence a couple days ago. I'm gonna pull all of this down. I might actually be able to do that today, but yeah, sure enough. I haven't been out here in a couple of days, but we've got some decent broccoli side shoots here. And this is perfect for a dinner. We've got a couple more side shoots coming in here. Not too bad. See another really nice head over there. I just haven't been out here for a couple of days because we've had a couple days of rain, so there we go. That's a very nice side for a dinner for us. Awesome. This time of year you get a lot of cabbage worms, so I try to pick off what I can outside and really look in there and see if I can see any cabbage worms. They're just little green caterpillars. Here I found, here we go, here's a good example. There are 3 so far that I'm seeing in here. I don't know exactly if the camera's gonna pick it up, but we've got one here. So there's one. Here's 2. There it is. I knew I saw it. Oh, this is a big one. 3. And I just give these to the chickens. The chickens will love them. I'm laughing because I just happened to look over and Cleo was trotting through the main garden picking, you guessed it, broccoli heads. That's about the only thing still growing right now. But perfect for us for easy side. And oh, we've got another one here. 4. I think I'm gonna do an Asian style stir fry tonight, so this broccoli will be perfect to throw in that. And it's just enough for a good meal like that, so perfect. Do you wanna help me find potatoes? Good. In this bed was Adirondack Blues and Adirondack Red potatoes. If you've been following, you know we did plant some white potatoes in a separate bed and out in the orchard. Because this is the first year we've ever done potatoes, it was really an experimentation year. We planted a couple different varieties, 4 to be exact, in 3 different locations just to see how things would go. It was a good year. We learned a lot, and I have not bought potatoes basically since maybe June or July. It's been a very long time. So lots of good things happening here. I 100% will have a space for potatoes every year in my garden. Something I'm very excited about. The yield for us was pretty good in this bed. I can't remember what I planted where. I'm pretty sure what we're harvesting today are the Adirondack purples, and I do know that these did not produce nearly as well as the blues did. I think we got not even half of what we got off of the Adirondack blue potatoes, which is okay. It's good to know that maybe it was just a potato that produces less, or I don't know. There's a lot of different varieties, especially when you don't really have a lot of experience in what you're doing. However, it was a really good year. We learned a lot, and I am excited to grow a lot more variety next year, try some new things. We love to have a variety of potatoes, so it's really cool to know that we're heading into winter with a lot of potatoes that are going to be on the shelf, which is really cool. Bad for a first ever potato harvest. I'm not mad at this at all. I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the time how close it starts to end up on the brink.